Have you ever felt like a prisoner of your own thoughts? In this journey to Stoicism, we will unravel strategies to free yourself from overthinking. From seeing it as an external force to embracing impermanence, discover the keys to transforming anxiety into mental freedom. In the end, a pearl of Stoic wisdom awaits you. Subscribe and stay until the end so you don't miss it, and let's start this journey together. Number 1. Controlling the invading mind, seeing overthinking as an external force. In today's fast-paced world, where information hits us like hail in a storm, minds are often overwhelmed by overthinking. However, Stoic philosophy gives us an effective strategy for dealing with this challenge, viewing overthinking as an external force. The central idea here is to change the perspective of our own thoughts, to recognize that they are not the core of our identity, but rather invaders of our peace of mind. Imagine those intrusive thoughts as clouds passing over a majestic, immovable mountain. By doing so, the mind becomes that mountain, standing firm while the clouds, which represent excessive thoughts, move away. This visualization not only lightens the burden of those thoughts, but also reinforces the understanding that they are transitory and can only affect us if we give them power. Thus, the practice of observing without commitment, of imagining placing those thoughts in a bubble and letting them float away, becomes a mental exercise that reduces their weight and strengthens the understanding of their ephemeral nature. This process does not involve turning thoughts into enemies, but rather recognizing them as temporary visitors. The constant practice of this visualization creates a mental reflection that helps us separate ourselves and let go of those thoughts before they become a storm. By doing so, we not only protect ourselves against overthinking, but we also regain our mental territory and our peace step by step. Number 2. Regaining mental balance, taking control by refocusing your energy. Modern life plunges us into a constant frenzy of mental multitasking, where the pressure to stay on top of everything can trigger a relentless cycle of overthinking. Stoic philosophy offers us valuable guidance to regain control and silence the endless noise of what could be, focusing on the present and refocusing our energy. The key here is to shift your perspective from worrying about the future and focusing on the now. As Seneca wisely expressed, true happiness is enjoying the present without anxiously depending on the future. This involves taking control by refocusing our energy toward activities that require our full attention in the present moment. It's not just about peace of mind, but about taking back control and appreciating the moment. The process is simple but profound. Focus on a task, even something small, and channel all your energy into completing it. It could be organizing your workspace, taking a brisk walk, or immersing yourself in reading. These acts require presence and attention to now, not to tomorrow or yesterday. By aligning our thoughts with our actions, we not only distract ourselves, but we also take control of where our mental energy flows. Stoicism reminds us that it is not about suppressing thoughts, but about managing them and consciously choosing where to invest our mental energy. By practicing this mental discipline, we develop the ability to refocus and strengthen our minds against the overwhelming tide of overthinking. Number 3. Cultivating mental freedom, embrace impermanence and practice letting go. On the journey toward freeing ourselves from the weight of overthinking, Stoic philosophy offers us a powerful tool: embrace impermanence and practice the art of letting go. This perspective involves recognizing that everything in life is transitory, even the intrusive thoughts that seem to cling tenaciously. In doing so, we cultivate a freedom of mind that allows us to flow with the changing current of existence. The epicenter of this practice lies in the deep understanding that nothing is eternal. Just as the seasons change and the waves of the sea recede, thoughts also follow this constant rhythm of change. This frees us from the false belief that thoughts, no matter how overwhelming, are permanent. The Stoic analogy of visualizing thoughts as leaves on a river helps us see that, like leaves, they can float away with the current if we don't hold on to them. Number 4. Managing concerns strategically, create a worry period. In the fabric of Stoic philosophy, we find a pragmatic strategy for dealing with overthinking: creating a period of worry. Contrary to the conventional idea of avoiding worries at all costs, Stoics advocate allocating specific time to confront and manage worries strategically. This approach recognizes that worrying is an inherent part of the human experience, but challenges us to not allow these worries to dominate our daily lives. Creating a worry period establishes healthy boundaries, preventing concerns from spilling over into all aspects of our existence. During this designated time, we consciously immerse ourselves in our concerns, exploring them and seeking practical solutions. Stoic discipline suggests that outside of this dedicated period, we should strive to mentally free ourselves from worry. By training the mind to postpone anxious ruminations until the designated time, we develop a valuable skill to manage our concerns more effectively. Number 5. Transforming challenges into manageable actions, breaking overwhelming thoughts into practical steps. At the heart of Stoic philosophy, we find a pragmatic strategy for countering overthinking, breaking down overwhelming thoughts into practical steps. This technique not only addresses the emotional burden of challenges, but also transforms crippling anxiety into a series of manageable actions. When faced with overwhelming thoughts, the natural tendency is to feel dejected by the magnitude of the problem. However, the Stoics urge us to break down these monumental challenges into small, manageable steps. This modular approach not only makes the task seem less overwhelming, but also provides a clear roadmap to resolution. The practice of breaking down overwhelming thoughts into practical steps is not only a problem-solving strategy, but also a way to maintain control over our mind. By turning the seemingly incomprehensible into specific actions, we regain a sense of agency and free ourselves from the yoke of overthinking. If you're enjoying what you've seen so far, I encourage you to show your support by clicking the like button just below. Your support is essential so we can continue bringing you quality content. Number 6. Focusing on the positive instead of the negative, shifting your perspective to gratitude. Within the Stoic framework for stopping overthinking, a transformative perspective emerges, shifting your focus to gratitude. Instead of succumbing to negativity and constant worry, Stoics encourage us to redirect our attention toward the positive that exists in our lives. This change in perspective involves cultivating an attitude of gratitude even in the midst of adversity. The Stoics maintain that by focusing on the things for which we are grateful, we shift our attention away from harmful thoughts and toward a more balanced, joy-focused mindset. Practicing gratitude does not mean denying challenges or difficulties, but rather recognizing that, even in difficult times, there are positive aspects in our lives. Number 7. Discovering value in the quality of our actions, focus on effort, not results. Within Stoic philosophy, we find a fundamental principle to free ourselves from overthinking, focusing on effort, not results. This perspective challenges the modern obsession with external achievements, fostering a deeper connection to the process and quality of our actions. Stoics maintain that real control lies in our actions and decisions, not in the end results that are often beyond our control. By diverting our attention from the fruits of our actions, we free ourselves from the stress and anxiety associated with unrealistic expectations. Number 8. Training the mind to manage discomfort, practice voluntary discomfort. Within Stoic philosophy, an unconventional but powerful strategy emerges, practicing voluntary discomfort as a means of training the mind to handle discomfort. In a world that often seeks comfort at all costs, Stoics advocate consciously embracing uncomfortable situations to strengthen our mental resilience. Practicing voluntary discomfort involves deliberately exposing yourself to challenging experiences, whether physical, emotional, or mental. This practice does not seek self-flagellation, but rather to develop a resilient capacity to face difficult situations with equanimity. By actively challenging our tolerance for discomfort, we build inner strength that allows us to face life's challenges with a calm and balanced mind. This Stoic approach reminds us that discomfort is an intrinsic part of the human experience, and by willingly embracing it, we gain mastery over our emotional response. By practicing voluntary discomfort, we transform discomfort from an obstacle to a vehicle for personal growth and self-regulation. Number 9. Valuing the present and freeing ourselves from anxiety, reflecting on the transience of life. Within the Stoic perspective, we find a vital reminder, reflecting on the transience of life as an effective antidote to overthinking. This practice involves contemplating the temporality of our existence to value the present and free ourselves from anxiety about the future. The Stoics urge us to recognize the impermanence of everything, reminding us that life is fleeting and that every moment is precious. By internalizing this universal truth, we cultivate a deeper appreciation for the present experience and free our minds from constant worry about what is to come. Number 10. Breaking the cycle of isolated thinking, seeking wisdom outside yourself. Within Stoic philosophy, we find a call to break the cycle of isolated thinking by seeking wisdom outside of oneself. Stoics recognize that the mind can easily fall into limited thought patterns and seek to expand perspective by connecting with external ideas and knowledge. Seeking wisdom outside of oneself involves exploring various sources, whether through reading, interacting with mentors, or contemplating the experiences of others. This practice not only enriches our understanding of the world, but also frees us from the mental confinement that arises from self-referential thinking. Which of these Stoic ways to stop overthinking resonated most with you? Share your perspective in the comments. Your experiences can be the spark that lights someone else's path. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell to continue exploring the wonders of Stoic thought together. Until next time, Wisdom Explorers.